they don't want to increase their capacity. They increase the capacity for foreign airlines because, as you saw the previous slides, Chinese airlines also have an expansion plan. So they are trying to be bigger and bigger. So if they grant more to foreign airlines, it will definitely affect the ability of Chinese airlines to grow more. So they are trying to find a balance. But India case is different. I don't know. We are still struggling to have a deal with India. I don't know the exact details, but I think the main reason is the current economic relationship with Turkey and India is not very much. So when you compare the Gulf carriers with India, it's definitely a different picture when you compare Turkey and India. So that's why Gulf carriers fly very frequently to India or even Nepal. But in terms of economy and political relationship with Turkey and India is not the same. So we don't have very much economic relationship. We have, but when you compare the size with other countries, it's not the same. So if we see a growth in economy and the relationship, we will see probably have more flights. So they say it's enough to give this freedom to Turkey because I think they don't see enough potential in terms of economy. So I think the main reason is that. Currently we fly 4 times per week because of the situation, we need to decrease the number of flights because of the earthquake. Because demand to Nepal is, when you compare with before an earthquake, but after the earthquake, the demand is lower when you compare the previous year. But we have seen demand picking up, and so we have a plan to increase flights to Kathmandu. Maybe not daily yet, but we have a plan to add 1 additional flight, maybe 5 times per week. But we haven't decided yet. We are still looking on the report, but it's very high likely to add a 5th flight to Kathmandu, maybe this winter, but not daily because still need time to see demand. Because as I said, we are an airline mainly carry transit passengers to Europe and the US. So when you compare Turkish Airlines with other airlines in Kathmandu, in Nepal, Qatar is
Qatar is number 1.
Number 1. Why? Because there is a huge ethnic traffic between Middle East and Nepal. We don't have this kind of ethnic traffic, so we cannot handle this capacity because mainly we carry tourists. And also in terms of geography, they can use narrow bodies, but we cannot use narrow body. We have to use wide body, Airbus 330. So it's not easy to increase your number of flights because they can be easily twice per day because they can use narrow bodies. But since we have to use wide body, we have to be very careful about capacity. But as we have seen demand picking up, so probably we're gonna invest more in Kathmandu and adding 5th flight. Maybe in this winter schedule is high likely to adding 5th. So after that we will see what happens about the market, because we are strongly promoting Nepal in Europe, because if we see an increase from Europe in terms of tourism in Europe to Nepal, we will be the first one who will capitalize this demand, because our main strategy is to carry tourists from Europe and the US to Nepal. So when we see the demand increasing, we want to be there to just grab this market from other airlines before they grab. So we are looking closely the the market situation in Europe. We are trying to push the agencies and related institutions in Europe to sell more Nepal, and we are having more fan trips. We are getting agencies from Europe and America to Nepal, showing the latest situation, latest capabilities and other stuff, so that we will be able to promote Nepal in Europe and in the US or in Canada. So this is the question, why we are more careful about capacity, because our business model is different than other carriers. It has to. It is the same. I mean, when I give you an example, like I said before, we are flying 14 cities in Germany.